This is your prime time forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from Dr. Don's Weather. Now, from the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Southern Union State Community College and the East Alabama Bee Company, here's Dr. Don.
Good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. This is a special live edition of your prime time forecast because we have some strong to marginally severe weather in the area. But first, before we get into the weather forecast, let me remind you to get in touch with this guy right here. It's Jamie Dukas. Jamie can save you all kinds of money with your personal and commercial insurance. All you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen, click the link at the top of the video, or call Jamie at 256-831-7770. And Jamie can show you just how much money he can save you and put back in your bank account. It is zero obligation, doesn't cost you a dime, and only takes about 5 minutes to find out how much Jamie Dukas can save you with Alpha Insurance. Don't forget to head over to our YouTube channel today. Days like today become very important for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that little bell so that when we go live to cover severe weather, you'll be guaranteed to get that push notification. Facebook doesn't always give you prompt notification when we go live, so it's very, very important to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It's free and only takes a minute or two to set up. So here's the deal, and here's why we're doing our primetime forecast live this morning. We've got a mess out there, and it could get worse as the day goes along. We may have multiple opportunities at severe weather across Alabama and Georgia today. We have a stalled out front right across central Alabama into Georgia, and that front is going to be the focus mechanism for multiple rounds of strong to severe thunderstorms throughout the entire day into tonight and perhaps even into tomorrow. You can see that the Storm Prediction Center has given us a moderate risk of severe weather across central and south Alabama back over into southwest Georgia. And that moderate category is a category we don't see very often here in the southeast. Now, we see marginal, slight, and occasionally we see enhanced, but only a handful of times in a year will we see that moderate category. And so when you see that, you got to really pay attention to it. So you folks across central Alabama over into east central Alabama and to the south, you got to be weather aware today. You really got to pay attention to what's going on. Now, we think the primary threats will be damaging winds, 60 to 70 miles per hour, and large hail. We're talking hailstones potentially as large as baseballs. Now, I think that's going to be down there in South Alabama. I believe across East Alabama, we're probably looking at hailstones up to around ping pong ball size, and maybe in some isolated spots we could see some larger hailstones. But hail and damaging straight-line winds will be the primary threat today. And we cannot completely rule out the possibility of a few tornadoes. I think the further south you go, the better the chances will be for tornadic activity. But one or two tornadoes across East Alabama, again, cannot be ruled out today. And that's a little unusual to have the possibility of a tornado in the month of June. We typically don't see that in Alabama and Georgia. But so far, this spring and early summer has been anything but typical. We've been a lot cooler than we typically are this time of year, and the weather, for the most part, has been really good, and that's not usual for this time of year either. So that's the deal that we have going on today. I don't know that this would classify as a red letter severe day. But anytime you have that moderate category, there's certainly that possibility that it could turn into an extremely active weather day. So I know that some school systems have actually canceled for today. When that kind of stuff starts happening, you got to really pay attention to what's going on. All right, so let's walk through this. I'm going to show you what we expect tonight and into tomorrow, and then we'll take a closer look at what's going on out there right now. So that's today's convective outlook. Then looking at Thursday, that severe threat seems to push off to the south. If you're going to be anywhere down around the Gulf Coast region of Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, or Georgia on Thursday, you may have to dodge a heavy thunderstorm or two. And then on Friday, we're back to just a marginal risk of strong to severe thunderstorms across East Alabama and West Georgia. It's going to be active all the way through, probably on into the weekend. I mean, I think Thursday and Friday may be, Thursday afternoon and Friday may be our two lull periods, and then more storm systems start coming at us as we start the weekend, and especially by the time we get to Sunday, I think we're going to be dealing with this yet again. So here's the latest graphic from the National Weather Service. This is for today through noon, and you can see there basically from central Talladega, central Clay, central Randolph, and central Heard County south, we have that slight risk of severe weather, which could include damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and hailstones up to about 2 inches, which is about hen egg size. And then north of that area in the green, we're talking the threats that we just mentioned, and while they're less likely in the green, they can't be completely ruled out. And then we look at this afternoon, that's where the issue is. You'll see that most of Randolph, Clay, Talladega, and up into Cleburne and Calhoun, you're in the yellow area. That is the slight risk area, where we could see damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour. And again, that hen egg, hail up to 2 inches. Now, that can cause damage. Obviously, that can cause damage to your automobiles and your roof, so we don't want to have that. But then as you look from about Roanoke to Wadley over to around Ashland to about Sylacauga down to around Auburn, that area is in the orange shade. That is the enhanced risk area, where we could see a few thunderstorms producing damaging winds of up to 70 miles per hour, hail up to the size of baseball, which is 2 3/4 inch in diameter, and a tornado or two cannot be completely ruled out. And then below that, down there in the red, basically from the Chambers County, Lee County line over to about Reeltown, and then on over to the Coosa, Elmore County line south, we're looking at a moderate risk area. Damaging winds of up to 80 miles per hour, hail up to the size of baseball, and the tornado activity would be more likely, I think, down there in that red area than it would be up in the yellow or the orange. But again, folks, understand, we can't completely rule out that possibility in any of these areas today across East Alabama and West Georgia. Don't get caught up in the different colors and the different risk levels. Heck, folks, thunderstorms and tornadoes don't know anything about this stuff. We do know that the ingredients are in place for the possibility of severe weather today across Alabama and Georgia, and exactly where it sets up. This is humans' best guess at where it sets up. But Mother Nature could care less what we think. I'm just telling you, if you live anywhere in Alabama or Georgia today, maybe with the exception of the extreme northern counties in both states, you need to pay attention to what's going on with the weather. Be weather aware today. And then as we move forward into Thursday afternoon and evening, that severe threat level really pushes to the south below the I-85 corridor. As we get into Thursday, we haven't really got an outlook on the weekend just yet, but I think we're going to be dealing with this again probably Saturday night, if not Sunday and Sunday night, as we head into your weekend. Looking at the tropics this morning, no activity taking place out there. Current conditions at the East Alabama Bee Company. Mr. Jeff Monroe down in 5 Points, Alabama. Currently at 66 degrees. High temperature 83. We have cloudy conditions. Wind out of the north at 1 mile per hour, gusting to 3. The humidity is 98%. The barometric pressure at 29.86. And we've recorded almost a 1/4 inch of rain in the past 24 hours in 5 Points. Sunrise this morning was at 5:30. Sun sets this evening at 7:52. And don't forget to stop by ML Albury's in downtown Roanoke or the Randolph Farmers Co-op in Wedowee to pick up a jar of that delicious East Alabama Bee Company honey. So we're headed for 80 degrees this afternoon in Roanoke. Ashland will go to 80, as well as Lineville, Wedowee, and Woodland both at 79. Ranburne will hit 79. Carrollton tops out at 80. Alexander City and Dadeville both will make it to 82. Tallahassee, 83 this afternoon. And Valley will top out at 82 degrees. So there it is. There's your 6-day forecast from the Alpha Weather Center. Jamie Dukas, your local Alpha agent. We're looking at a 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms today. A flash flood watch is in effect through Thursday for all of East Alabama and West Georgia. Some storms could be severe today, with damaging straight-line winds and large hail. Even a few spin-up tornadoes cannot be ruled out. High temperature this afternoon around 80, down to 64 tonight with a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms. On Thursday, an 80% chance of storms. I think that's primarily going to be in the morning. I think we start to clear out tomorrow afternoon, maybe with a peek at the sun even. 80 will be your high on Thursday. Friday, just a 30% chance of a scattered thunderstorm. And then on Saturday, we'll increase that to a 40% chance. Sunday, here it comes again, with showers and thunderstorms becoming likely by afternoon, high of 86. And then as we kick off your next work week, we're looking at a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms out there on Monday. So let's run over to the Southern Union State Community College live Doppler HD radar, and we're going to talk about this for a minute. Lee County getting hammered at the moment. Very heavy thunderstorm down there in the Auburn, Opelika area. As a matter of fact, let's just jump over there and take a look at Toomer's Corner. And you can see there, as the cars come through the intersection there, we're seeing just a lot of water on the roadway. Don't see a tremendous amount of wind right here at the moment. Let's look at a couple of different shots here. Well, that's Sanford Park. You can't even see that camera. There's so much rain on the lens. I think that may, well, there we go. There's a pretty good look at the concourse looking back. There you can see gray skies and lightning off in the distance as well. So, yes, lots of rain taking place down there in Lee County at this hour, especially right there around the Auburn, Opelika area and on the campus there at Auburn University. So back to the radar we go, and we will go down and look at that. That is certainly the strongest thunderstorm on radar at this hour. Let me bring this current and stop the loop, and there we go. We do have a special weather statement in effect for Lee County this morning, and so this is going to be in effect. This is in effect until 6:30, so about another 29 minutes on this special weather statement. Strong thunderstorm impacting portions of Lee, northeastern Macon, northern Russell counties through 6:30 this morning. Strong thunderstorm over Auburn University or near Auburn, moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. 40-mile-per-hour wind gust with this particular storm seems to be the highest threat at the moment. So again, that is a special weather statement down here in Lee County this morning. So you folks in Auburn, Opelika, be very careful down there. Of course, all of that's going to continue moving off to the east. It'll get Columbus, Phoenix City, all points to the north up there around Hamilton, Harris County. This is going to be moving in your general direction. So as we work our way back to the west, it's pretty calm now up in Chambers County. Chambers caught part of this, especially down there on the southern end of the county. Troup County, you're looking pretty good at this hour. You've got some rain down there in the southern part of your county. Of course, heavy rain over in Harris County this morning. Then as we move on back over toward Tallapoosa County, we see heavy rain now from Alexander City down to around Tallahassee. and that's stretching back over to near Dadeville. A lot of thunder and lightning there, maybe some hail taking place along 63 there, just north of Kalijah, right there on Lake Martin. Some thunder and lightning down around Eclectic and Hopeville in northern Elmore County, and then over in Coosa County from Goodwater back down to Kellyton, over to Rockford, and back up to Weguffka. We see just copious amounts of rain taking place there. 280, not a good ride this morning. And then back in central Alabama, look at that stuff coming out of Shelby County there, just to the east of the University of Montevallo. Very heavy thunder and lightning taking place there in northern Chilton County, southeastern Shelby County. That's going to be moving into western Talladega and northwestern Coosa in the next 15 or 20 minutes. So you folks up here in Childersburg, Sylacauga, Goodwater, Weguffka, you're just getting hammered storm after storm. And that's the reason for the flash flood watch. And that's going to remain in effect through tomorrow. Because a lot of the same areas are going to be getting storm after storm after storm, and eventually that's going to start adding up. We're talking 3 to 6 inches of rain for some locations across central and east Alabama and west Georgia over the course of the next 24 to 36 hours. So that's going to cause some flooding issues, no question about that. And if we look on up to the northwest, we'll see that this stuff continues up into the Birmingham metro, especially on the western side, and back north of Tuscaloosa and on up into northwest Alabama near Winfield. That's round number one. There's another round setting up over in Mississippi, and we're just going to see this happen time after time after time as we go throughout today and into this evening. So again, while we have no severe warnings out there at the moment, we have no severe weather watches out there at the moment, I would anticipate at least a severe thunderstorm watch, if not a tornado watch, this afternoon for portions of East Alabama, West Georgia, probably being issued sometime around 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon for later this afternoon. So be weather aware. Can't stress that enough. I know I've said it multiple times this morning, but this is going to be one of those days you just simply need to know what's going on out there. Have a plan for your automobile. Have a place to put your automobile to protect it from hailstones. I really think that's going to be the biggie this afternoon. If you don't have a garage or carport, then secure a quilt, a blanket, even a tarp is better than nothing. Something you can put over your automobile to soften the blow of those hailstones. Even a piece of cardboard over your windshield is better than doing absolutely nothing. Of course, there's not a whole lot you can do about your roof. When we start getting hail that large, there's going to be roof damage on your home. But you can take some measures to protect your automobile. Have that plan ready to put in place so that you can accomplish that before the storm gets to you. You don't want to wait until it starts hailing and then run outside and try to cover your automobile up. That's not safe. So be ready for that so that you can protect your property if we get into those storms this afternoon. All right, so folks, this has been a special edition of our Primetime Forecast. We're doing it for you live this morning. We typically pre-record our Primetime Forecast and publish it around 6 a.m. every morning. But this morning, because of the impending threat of severe weather across Alabama and Georgia, we decided to do our Primetime Forecast live. For those of you who typically don't view our Primetime Forecast, we invite you to check us out every morning around 6 a.m. If you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll get notification every day when our Primetime Forecast comes out, and that way you can be caught up on what the weather is expected to be across your area that particular day. Now, I say this often, you know I have a daytime paying job, and so I'm going to do my best to bring you live coverage throughout the day if conditions warrant. But because of my obligations, I cannot guarantee you I'm going to be able to go live every time a warning is issued. So it's very important for you to have multiple ways of receiving severe weather information. Do not rely solely on my live broadcast to give you weather information. You need to make sure you have a NOAA weather radio. You need to make sure you have multiple apps on your phone, and make sure you go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe to Dr. Don's Weather and click that little bell so that when we go live for severe weather, you'll get that notification. So we'll be back. We certainly will bring you some updates throughout the day, and I'll do my dead level best to go live each time we have severe warnings. We'll have to play it by ear as far as wall-to-wall coverage is concerned. I will be posting on Facebook. That will happen regardless, so you will be able to get some weather notifications that way. So I hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I'll be back in here first thing tomorrow morning with your primetime forecast, and I'll come along this afternoon with live severe weather coverage as conditions warrant here on Dr. Don's Weather.